and we're now taking those lessons to heart. One of just 3 unbeaten ACC teams in conference play. Meanwhile, for Amanda Butler, she's saying her team's been a little gritty. They had to survive Wake Forest after a top 10 win over Virginia Tech last Thursday. She's wondering if her team can take its talents to the road. We're about to find out. Hannah Hank, KK Timpson in the center circle. And the sophomore center for Florida State wins the tap. Latson quickly into a pull-up. It's short. Rebounded by Amari Robinson. Clemson starting 5, the lineup they've used for most of this year. Just 3 different starting 5s for Coach Butler all season. Inserted Whitehorn into the starting lineup in game 2. She's earned her place since. Nice baseline drive. Triple team collapses. Bradford gets it back and scores. That's going to be a big key for Clemson, his second chance points as FSU rolls out the same starting 5 it has for the last 2 months.
Yeah, this has been a consistent group for Brooke Wyckoff and the Florida State Seminoles in the starting lineup.
Timpson was challenged inside. Good defense, but Aaron Howard keeps it on this possession. Sarah Bajetti starts to drive. Latson for 3. Off the back of the iron. Smart tap by Whitehorn. Aisha Bradford goes by Nunu, blocked by Jasmine Massengill.
Florida State in the top 5 in the country in block shots per game. And there you see it's not just the post players. They get those blocks from guards as well, like Jazz Massengill.
3 from the corner, no. Bajetti mishandles it, loose. Hank finally seals it. 10 on the timer for Bradford. The senior originally attended Tallahassee Community College. Misfires there, rebound to the Noles senior guard Bajetti. Looking inside, dangerous pass in traffic. Bradford has the ball again.
Florida State forced that one a little bit too much in transition. They love to get out and run, but gotta have a passing lane. These Clemson Tigers get after it on the defensive end.
Whitehorn trying to work downhill, out to Hank, 3 too strong. Latson got it out of the arms of Bradford. Florida State coming off 2 big wins. Trailed by 6 at halftime as Bajetti is fouled at North Carolina. Grinding out easily its best win of the season. They had a 41-point win on the road at Georgia Tech Sunday. Biggest ACC road win in 7 years for the Noles, led by a 37-point fourth quarter.
Florida State jumped out to a 20-5 lead at the end of the first quarter in that game in Atlanta and really never looked back.
Howard working inside. Nice move by the senior to stay patient and get the Seminoles on the board.
Yeah, you think of Erin Howard as a three-point shooter, but she shows she's got the ability to put it on the floor, finish around the rim as well. Ruby Whitehorn there, nearly a turnover.
I'm surprised it wasn't called a travel there.
Kind of passed it to herself on that one.
No matter, Hank with a good fake. Starts a drive. Now out to Robinson, and the 1,000-point scorer in her Clemson career can't hit. Omaria Gordon falling out of bounds. Deflects it off a Clemson player.
Take another look here at Erin Howard. Catches there at the elbow and just kind of makes a nice little spin move. Finishes with the left hand on the left side.
Bill Ferrari just saw in view for a moment, emphasizing layups or threes today against this constant Clemson pressure. Now working against the Tigers zone. Massengill from the mid-range. Gets the friendly roll. And a loose ball foul going against KK Timpson.
KK Timpson was using a swing move there underneath after the shot. Let's take another look. Jazz Massengill and Timpson kind of shoves Hannah Hank out of the way. They count the bucket, but they do give the foul to KK Timpson.
Talk about Ta'Niya Latson. Timpson, another crucial player for the Seminoles. The sophomore now with some strong defense herself inside, forces the miss. Howard can't control the rebound. It'll stay here.
I think they're going to take a look at that and confer, and I think they are going to give that to Florida State. As that ball was last touched, I believe it was Bradford. Amari Robinson, I believe, that was battling inside with Aaron Howard.
Our referee, Dee Cantner, John Capolino, Crystal Appellinis, our crew tonight. Latson with a head of steam. Good kick up top. Massengill buries it.
Massengill, an underrated three-point shooter, shoots at 46% from beyond the three-point line. Doesn't shoot a lot of them, but is very accurate from beyond the three-point line.
14th tray of the year for the transfer from Kentucky. Whitehorn with a good look. Can't hit. Valencia Myers checks into the game and immediately gets the rebound.
State looking to push the ball in transition. Aaron Howard with the big three from the left wing.
Howard, you know that's her bread and butter. So good in that game against UConn. 18 points in that game.
Ooh, good
backdoor Whitehorn.
Yeah, very nice backdoor cut there by Ruby Whitehorn to get her in the scoring column for the Tigers.
Latson feeds it inside. Myers all alone. That's such an underrated part of Latson's game. She's leading the team in assists so far in ACC play.
Yeah, she's doing a really nice job sharing the basketball as well as scoring the basketball. Let's take another look. She dribbles around a couple defenders, and then the kick out to Aaron Howard and the extra pass to Jazz Massengill.
Even the assist on the last basket, too, just shows how she draws a crowd. So it's one of the things she's really prided herself on improving on, is knowing, okay, if I'm the #1 scout, I can make my teammates better, and I know I have to be unselfish, too. Averages 25 per game, yet so smooth and smart as a passer. Clemson keeps possession after nearly turning it over. Trailing by 8, Gordon with a strong defense. Nice little slip, but everything but the finish. A good look. Reno Inyang didn't finish. Now lob inside. Myers fouled from behind.
Good high-low look there by Mariana Valenzuela, just checking into the game. Catches the ball, puts it on the floor one time, and throws it over the top to Myers. It was hacked by Inyang.
This roster's been so much fun to watch, Melissa, in part because it feels like a Las Vegas buffet. It's not just the quantity, but it's the quality of what you're getting 1 through 10. When we talk about that upset win at North Carolina, you need veterans to kind of smooth things out when it gets a little rocky. At 7 points and 9 rebounds, 4 of them offensive. She's just provided such a great bench presence as a savvy vet for the Seminoles.
Valencia Myers really has jumped in to a substitute role this season, but has played it to perfection and really come up big for Florida State when they've needed it.
Playing in her 129th career game today. Free throws extend the lead to 10. O'Brien, great defense on the move. They'll say it was last touched by the Seminoles underneath. But make no mistake, Florida State hot from inside and out. They lead at 14-4 early. First home game of the new year. And now checking in with Meredith Grimm. You know, Meredith, this team had a nice little celebration in Atlanta before ringing in the new year, and boy, did they do it in a big way Sunday.
No, Sean, it wasn't quite like Times Square, but the Noles did get to ring in the new year together in a hotel banquet room in Atlanta. They had to get to bed early and celebrate a little earlier than usual in anticipation for that game against Georgia Tech the next day. It worked well, and they came out on top 99-58. Marking the largest ACC road win since 2016. Now, Florida State remains unranked in the AP Top 25 poll, but head coach Brooke Wyckoff is taking advantage of their underdog status. She says that having a chip on their shoulder and playing with maturity will enable this team to gain the respect of the country.
All right, Meredith, yeah, something that she said in her media availability the other day as Clemson turns it over. So, you know, you get the top 25 ranking, you get the target on your back, but she knows, look, we stay within our system, we do the same things we've been doing. We know we'll be a tournament team. We know we'll get a good seed. That's just what it's all about, is we just want to be the best we can be today, and that's why we're 14-2.
Perspective from first-year head coach Brooke Wyckoff.
Latson foul driving inside. Doesn't sound like a first-year coach a lot of these times. I mean, we were joking at shoot-around, but she's got the quotes down. She knows how to say the right things to her team and the media. It's just funny watching. And she said, yeah, it's been part of the job, but that experience 2 years ago really paying dividends. We're talking about first years. I mean, Ta'Niya Latson. This is an incredible stat that just blows me away. Not only is she 30 of 32 at the free throw line in her first 3 ACC games, Melissa, she's made more free throws than any other player in the country this season.
Leads the nation in attempts and makes from the free throw line. That just talks a lot about the aggressiveness of the freshman, not afraid to go in and mix it up and draw the contact. She's probably leading the country in and-one opportunities as well, because I feel like a lot of those she has scored on and then still gone and knocked down the free throw.
Got to update the graphic. It's up to 109 now. Great scoring thread is Inyang. 10 points off the bench for Clemson in a 1-point win over Wake Forest Sunday. Bench scoring, something they desperately need today.
That's back-to-back buckets for Eno Inyang.
Extra pass, O'Brien all alone, in and out. Nice extra feed from Valenzuela, but to no avail. Herpian, the Elon transfer and former 1,000-point scorer, comes up empty. Numbers the other way, Bajetti. Valenzuela for 3.
Florida State had a chance there to come up with the offensive rebound, and Latson just outran it.
Good transition defense by O'Brien. Tough shot. Valenzuela rips it away. What's the call?
I believe they're going to call that a jump ball. I thought Mariana Valenzuela had that ball, but they're going to say that Amari Robinson tied her up. Robinson with the hand underneath the ball. No contact there. D. Cantner saw it the whole way. Clemson basketball on the alternating possession.
Tigers just 4 of 16. Great fake by Inyang, and Timpson picks up her second foul.
A.K. Timpson went for the shot fake by Inyang, got up off the ground, tried to reach from behind, tried to block that one away, and got her on the arms. It's 2 fouls now on K.K. Timpson, so she'll have to go right back to the bench, and Valencia Myers going to check right back in for Florida State.
Something Florida State hasn't dealt with all too many times this year. Timpson only fouling out twice against Florida and UConn. Meanwhile, for Clemson, we talked about Inyang and the presence she had on Sunday. It's so important for a Clemson team that may seem a little top-heavy. They had just 35 bench points in their first 3 ACC contests.
Again, Inyang doing a nice job off the bench. Comes into the game only averaging just about 4 points a game. She already has 6 here tonight for Clemson.
Sophomore from St. Cloud, Florida, back in her home state after growing up in the Orlando area. Latson beats the entire defense before drawing another foul. This time it'll go against senior Amari Robinson.
Ta'Niya Latson, the one-woman press break there, just kind of dribbles through some Clemson defenders, breaks the trap, gets through the pressure, and then Robinson, trying to play 2-on-1, has to come over and foul Ta'Niya Latson.
O'Brien goes out. Massengill, after 5 early points, checks back in. So much fun talking with Latson on a daily basis. One time after a game, we're just chatting, going, okay, do you like the crossover best, the behind the back, the Euro step? I mean, she has it all, Melissa, as an 18-year-old freshman. Asking her what her favorite move was or what she likes to do. I says, I just like switching it up. I don't want to do the same thing too many times where a defense can start to guess.
And again, you mentioned earlier, she loves to pass the ball too. You know, she's not just a one-dimensional scorer. She gets after it defensively. She'll rebound. Unu Bradford with a big 3 for Clemson.
Shooting just 29% from the floor so far in ACC play. Now Bajetti gets caught in a crowd, has that shot sent back. 2-on-1. Herpian pulls up, and it rattles home.
Herpian showing why she was a 1,000-point scorer at Elon for her first 4 seasons, an all Colonial League player.
And an important guard, too. Clemson knocks it out of bounds. A big thing last year, Amari Robinson had to move to the point for a little bit. And then the fact that, look, Clemson got that stop they wanted. Something like Florida State, they get the block and it immediately turns into a transition three.
Time you can come up with big plays on the defensive end and convert those into easy scoring opportunities on the offensive end, that'll make a coach happy.
Latson banks in the rainbow three. Gives a little Jordan shrug. I don't know how she does it either.
That one looked like it didn't have much of a chance, and all of a sudden it goes through after the bank. Let's take another look at that one. Not sure if she called this one or not. Extra pass from Jazz Massengill. Kind of funny leaving her hand, had a little bit of a spin on it. Latson says, I'll take it. It still counts for three.
First made shot of the night for the leading scorer in the ACC this season. Poured in 32 points Sunday for her fourth 30-point game of the year. Hank finds a soft spot in the middle. A little too strong, and now Latson with numbers behind her. Howard in rhythm. Can't knock down her second three of the period. Bradford thought about taking it one-on-one. Clemson at 11-4 this year, already more wins than it had all of last season. Bradford can't hit again from the same spot. And another loose ball foul called on Florida State. No, Clemson. And Brooke Wyckoff couldn't believe it for a moment as she threw her hands to the sky.
There's a little confusion here. I'm confused. They're pointing like it was on Valencia Myers, or is Valencia Myers the one that's shooting? I believe they're going to say the foul was on 0, Bree Perpignan, and Valencia Myers was the one that was the recipient of the foul, and she'll step to the free throw line as that is number 5, and we'll put Florida State into the bonus with 1:30 left to go here in the first quarter.
Perpignan gave official John Capolino a piece of her mind heading to the bench with her second foul. That'll be important to watch for a Clemson team that doesn't have a ton of depth. Valencia Myers, we talk about her impact. Saw it in the game at Wisconsin in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. It's just, for a team with 10 players, 2 freshmen, 2 transfers, she still plays such an important role.
Certainly does, and provides that leadership as well and that experience. She's not going to get rattled in big games because she's played in so many ACC contests already in her career here at Florida State.
Whitehorn wanted to go inside, had to pick up her dribble. Approaching the final minute of a back-and-forth first quarter. And Gordon, with a well-timed strip, forces the tie-up and possession back to the Noles.
Hannah Hank just couldn't quite get a handle on that one from the beginning. It looked like she bobbled the catch just a little bit. Maria Gordon recognized that, dug down deep to come up with the turnover.
Latson hustles ahead. Great ball movement. Latson for 3. You bet!
No bank shot on that one, Sean. Latson was all net from the three-point line there.
And we were joking with her this afternoon saying, hey, that's some slow starts lately. Just 1 point in the first half at North Carolina last Thursday. Already 10 in the first frame today. Good job by Robinson to get the defense in the air, but everybody recovers for FSU. Whitehorn with 3. Gotta do something with Massengill in her grill. And can't finish over the tall senior guard. Shot clock turned off for Latson. Once again, the catalyst for an 11-point lead in the first quarter. Howard flips it up, no good. But that ends a strong start yet again for Brooke Wyckoff and her Seminoles. 47% from the floor, 4 trays, and getting to the line, humming. But where do you think they were the last time they won 3 straight ACC games?
I'm going to say here in Tallahassee.
It was here. One of just 2 wins they've had in this building in the last 20 years. The second quarter starts off like the first. Good interior defense. Now Massengill one-on-one. Don't see that all too often from the pass-first point guard. She said that over the last month. She wants to look to be a scorer to just add another threat to her arsenal as a strong passer and defender.
Yeah, she just defaults to that passer mentality, that trying to find for somebody else. But she has been a little more aggressive here today. Already has 5 points. Seems to be looking for her shot just a little bit more. Very aggressive, attacking the paint there and taking it right at Inyang, who picked up her second personal foul.
Erpinian also a 2 for Clemson. You talk about the floor general, Brooke Wyckoff giving her the coaching stamp of approval, saying, hey, look at these numbers. It's easy to say why her head coach says it's one of the best floor generals I've ever seen when I was playing, when I was in the WNBA, and as a coach.
Well, she's second in the ACC in that assist-turnover ratio. She's one of the top in the SEC last season. Again, takes good care of the basketball and such a good leader with a steady demeanor out there on the floor for Florida State.
Robinson in quiet early, still no dice. Got her own miss. No luck there. Lid on the basket early for Amari Robinson, 0 for 4 from the floor. Now Maria Gordon tripped up on her way to the rim. Refs say no foul.
And Taylor O'Brien gets a hand on the ball in transition.
Gordon knocks down a 3. And immediately, Coach Butler calls time. Florida State with a big lead here a minute into the second quarter. In the entire country this season, picking up right where it left off in its biggest win Sunday.
Now Florida State making it rain from downtown here tonight. 5 of 9 shooting from beyond the three-point line. 4 different players getting in on the action from beyond the distance today.
Bill Ferrara, the guru for this offense, and saying, yeah, I know we're number 2 in the ACC in three-pointers made per game. I don't care. I want us to be at about 10 per game. Well, this team's coming off a season-high 13 in the win at Georgia Tech Sunday afternoon. Poured in 37 in the final frame, most in any quarter in Florida State history since they moved to quarters.
Florida State defensively impressive as well, making it really difficult for Amari Robinson, the leading scorer on this Clemson team. And patient on the offensive end there, reversing the ball back around and finding Valencia Myers wide open inside. She's got 8 points already for Florida State.
14-0 run for Florida State since the closing minutes of the first quarter. O'Brien times her strip well and forces another jump ball.
It's going to be Florida State basketball. Look at the court vision there from Omari Gordon. Threads the needle inside, making it easy for her teammate Valencia Myers. Gordon, 3 points already, a couple of assists as well here today.
Florida State, 8 assists on 9 made shots. We talk about the unselfishness and the love, the word that always comes up with this team. Every player in almost every interview, when they talk about their teammates, it's just the love they have for one another. They really enjoy seeing other people succeed. A rare empty possession for the Noles in this first half. Clemson trying to stop the bleeding here on the road. 8-1 at Little John Coliseum, but have struggled away from Clemson so far this season. Runner won't go for Nunu Bradford. Howard wants another try. Misfires there, good rebound inside.
It's a good look for Erin Howard, one that she'll knock down more often than not.
Robinson still 0 for. Leading scorer, silent in the first 13 minutes. Here's O'Brien. Myers on the second chance, too strong off the glass. A tumble underneath, 4-on-4 the other way.
Ari Robinson and Erin Howard both ended up on the ground. It's getting physical out there, battling for the boards.
Clemson's 2 leading scorers, Amari Robinson and Ruby Whitehorn. Right now, just a combined 2 points on 1 of 10 shooting.
Whole new 5 for Amanda Butler and the Clemson Tigers here. She is looking for some answers. Clemson has been held scoreless so far in this second quarter.
All right, they're getting the looks they want, Melissa. It's just finishing around the rim and also the Seminoles closing out their faces.
They have not had very many uncontested looks. Give Florida State credit defensively for making it difficult, challenging every shot attempt. That's a good look for Perpignan.
Right back into the game, hits her second shot. And Clemson badly needed to end the drought. Their first point since the 2:41 mark of the first. Valenzuela answers right back. Now the 5th Seminole to make a 3.
Mariana Valenzuela shoots at 57% from beyond the 3-point line. And Yang in there battling on the glass.
And on the 3rd try, puts it in, plus the foul. Instant offense, N.O. Inyang.
Take a look here at Clemson knocking down the long ball. Perpignan. And on the other end, it's Mariana Valenzuela with the answer for Florida State. Said we were going to keep an eye on the rebounding stats tonight, Sean. And Clemson actually winning that battle right now. 9 offensive rebounds for the Clemson Tigers.
Only shooting 25% from the floor. Luke Turnage defending the ball in for the game the first time just a few moments ago. Shot clock down to 5. Good anticipation by Timpson. Has to be careful with those 2 fouls. No change of possession. And time runs out.
Good defensive possession for Florida State there. Timpson never maintained possession. Amanda Butler asking for clarification on that, but Timpson tipped it away, but then never really had control of it, and she was afraid to get a foul, so had to kind of back off a little bit. Nothing doing for the Clemson Tigers on that possession. Douglas now all over Ta'Niya Latson.
Massengill pulls up, around it down.
Okay.
It's just her night. Massengill only averages 6 points per game, but up to 8 on 3 of 3 shooting.
I like the assertiveness of Jazz Massengill in the paint.
Turnage got a piece of that inside. Massengill, too, with those 5 assists. Locked in on a day where her head coach said we're probably going to need her more than anybody else to be at a high level. Stops a transition chance there. Whitehorn over to Hank.
Hank, one of the most accurate 3-point shooters on this Clemson Tiger team, shoots at 38%. That's a good look for her.
Turnage. Nothing but air there. Her former high school teammate tracks down the rebound, nearly turns it over before it's tipped back her way. Florida State with 5. Here's number 5, Valenzuela. It's another jumper. It's all working across the board for Florida State.
Might have gotten away with a little push off there, did Mariana Valenzuela, but number 5 now has 5 for the Noles.
I was wild with almost 4 to play in the first half. A traveling violation called on the perimeter. Another miscue, Clemson's 6th giveaway of this half.
It's the freshman Ruby Whitehorn. Just couldn't quite get her feet set in a little bit too big of a hurry, trying to make something good happen for her team.
Douglas nearly poked it away from Latson. Latson. No luck this time. Would have been her 3rd 3. Whitehorn, the highest recruit. Clemson program history gives up to Robinson, one of the most decorated players in program history. And that dynamic duo just hasn't found anything. Valenzuela all alone. Wave it off before the shot.
Sarah Bajetti got just a little bit too deep on that. I didn't catch the number of the Clemson defender, but it was good defense here. As we'll take a look. Is it Amari Robinson or Hannah Hank that steps in to take the charge on Sarah Bajetti? Good defense by the Tigers.
Of course, it's going to be the player for Amanda Butler who has never missed a game in her Clemson career. Her 103rd game tonight was part of Coach Butler's first recruiting class. Whitehorn up and over Timpson. See if she can get going after her second bucket of the night.
That was a good look inside, trying to take it right at KK Timpson, who has those 2 personal fouls.
Team high 16 in Sunday's win. Bajetti off the front of the rim. Timpson can't put it back. Oh, you never see her miss one of those. Not as surprised as anyone else in the building.
Hey, Timpson just a little out of sorts here today. Almost looked like she wanted to go down and throw it down. She was so close, and then maybe lost a handle as she was going up with it.
Timpson yet to make a shot in this first half, limited to 7 minutes. Latson short on the turnaround, gets her own miss. Valenzuela calling for it.
Timpson out and running now. It's Alasia Douglas pulls it back out. Gives her team time to come set up.
Clemson looking to close the second strong. Good up and under fake. Again, off the back iron. Latson's pass deflected by Bradford. On the run. Defense to offense just like that for New Bradford. Brooke Wyckoff not happy with their team's lack of discipline. Still a 15-point margin. But Clemson starting to get back into this game thanks to the identity that's won them 11 games so far this year.
They're getting it done on the defensive end. They've challenged Florida State's shots. They've held them to just 1 of 7 from the floor over the last 2.5 minutes. And Brooke Wyckoff needing to settle this team down, not allow Clemson to get out on an even bigger scoring run.
That's what's so important. You dissect things for Clemson. And even on Sunday, they were outscored 23-10 in the second quarter. That's been that Achilles heel. Just 28 points in their first 3 ACC games in the second quarter. You can't have lapses like that. And Coach Butler told us earlier today, look, NC State, we had a great first quarter, scored 26 points, but then we fall off that cliff, and you can't have those stretches against the great teams in this conference if you want to win 8, 9, 10 games.
Nice pass inside. It's a good way to beat the pressure. Sarah Bajetti takes it all the way down and then dumps it off for KK Timpson for her first 2 points of the game. Good timeout by Brooke Wyckoff and good execution on the press break out of that timeout. And then a turnover by the Tigers. I believe that's New Bradford. I think Ta'Niya Latson may have gotten a hand on that one as well to knock it off Bradford's leg.
Full court pressure, Massengill looking somewhere. Hank takes it away.
Again, that full court pressure by the Clemson Tigers, causing some trouble occasionally for Florida State.
Good contest by Timpson, but on her heels. Whitehorn gets it back and scores in front all alone.
11 offensive rebounds now by the Clemson Tigers, allowing them to get back into this ball game.
Now Timpson going to the line, looking for one more on an and one for one of the ACC's best front court players.
KK Timpson battling on the glass, getting good position there, comes up with the ball and then finishes through the contact. Not sure if they got Hannah Hank in the front, or was that Robinson in the back? Their foul is going to go on Amari Robinson, her second personal foul. No points for Clemson leading scorer Robinson. She is 0 for 7 from the floor so far. Surprising start for her.
Timpson exits after the and one. 2 fouls already in the half. No need to risk a third in the final 80 seconds. KK finding that killer instinct. especially the last time she was on this floor, poured in a career-high 25 in a win over Miami before Christmas. Latson defending Douglas. The #1 bench scorer for the Tigers this year, now hounded by Bajetti. Bradford with 3. Has to give it up. In Yang to the rack. No. Whitehorn. And they'll say that didn't touch the rim on the first try. Shot clock violation. And again, it's the stout Seminole defense getting the stop.
Florida State being really aggressive defensively there, not allowing any open looks for the Clemson Tigers. Florida State could go 2 for 1 here if they look for it.
They do with Bajetti. Myers swatting at it. Bradford gets it before it goes out of bounds in front of her own bench. About a 4-second differential. 26-point first quarter, helping Florida State build a nice cushion before the break. And now a foul on the Noles.
Gonna go on Sarah Bajetti. Bajetti and Bradford have kind of been mixing it up a little bit on both ends of the floor. A little bit of hand checking going on both sides. Bajetti gets a little too physical on that possession, gets whistled for the foul. It's her second, so that'll bring Taylor O'Brien back in. Finish off the quarter for the Noles.
Still a foul to give for FSU, 2 for Clemson. Bradford after the hesitation. Whitehorn thought about it. Opted to swing it back up top. Inyang from the mid-range. No good. Final seconds. O'Brien. And time expires before either team can claim possession. A 5 of 9 start from downtown, helping Florida State build an 18-point lead, one of just 3 undefeateds left in conference play, along with Notre Dame and Duke. Let's talk
for the Clemson Tigers. So imagine what could happen if you get players like Amari Robinson and Hannah Hank to be a little bit more effective down there in the low block.
No doubt about it. They need their 2-star seniors to try and climb back from an 18-point hole as we start the third quarter in Tallahassee. Florida State off to its best start in ACC play since 2008-2009. And immediately a travel by the Tigers for now their 9th turnover.
It's Ruby Whitehorn again, just a little bit too quick before she put the ball on the floor, trying to make good things happen. Slow down just a bit.
Starters back out there for both teams. Bajetti and Timpson playing with 2 fouls apiece.
Two-man game over on the left side with Bajetti and Howard.
Trying to dump it in. Latson's pass swatted back by Hank, but the perfect pass to Timpson. And what a recovery by Hank and Clemson.
It's a good defensive possession by the Clemson Tigers.
Robinson on the roll, can't muscle it in, got it back, and finally, one goes down after missing her first 9 shots. Robinson hoping to turn things around. She had a career-high 27 against Florida State last season. Timpson loses the handle, stumbling a bit and slow to get back. Perpignan lobs it to Whitehorn. Clemson with back-to-back buckets from its top duo.
Exactly what Amanda Butler's looking for is to try to get players like Robinson and Whitehorn in the game.
Howard, no good. Wyckoff not happy early in this third period.
Wanted some weak-tied rebounding there, and she didn't have anything on the miss from Aaron Howard. Everybody standing outside the perimeter.
Whitehorn working downhill, mid-range J, too strong. Timpson rips down the rebound. Latson in the open floor. Puts up the shot and nails it. Up to 12 points after 10 in the first frame.
Latson with a nifty spin move there, kind of hangs in the air to finish that one to get the Noles on the board here to start the third quarter.
It's amazing. even when she's off balance. It's as good as when she's standing still on 2 feet. Opinion. Season high 7 assists her last time out. Trying to score here to no avail. Timpson starts the break with the outlet to Bajetti. One-on-one with Hank. Gets a little hip check. Everybody catches their breath. That's what's so impressive about Florida State this year. We talk about the pace and space system. Like right there, one pass, boom. You have a one-on-one chance. Florida State this year, plus 128 in the third quarter. Their best margin of any quarter. Massengill, still a perfect 4 from 4 from the field. Just goes to show you that Florida State, they're conditioned to play at this pace for 40 minutes. It's so great to see how they make adjustments and just keep their foot on the throttle.
Yeah, we've seen that now with 10 healthy players for Florida State. Coach Brooke Wyckoff can sub liberally and keep players fresh and have very little drop-off with this crew.
Nunu Bradford, one of the biggest leaders on this team, now into double figures with 10. Howell turns it over underneath. And Latson with a strong closeout forces a travel. Well, it's simple for Clemson. You got to come back from a 15-point deficit. You need some of these looks to drop.
Yeah, that's a good look. Ruby Whitehorn drew the defense to her under control, and then the nice kick out to Nunu Bradford for the 3.
Clemson 3 of 10 from deep, right on their season average. Howard with a little pull-up pop.
Good shot fake there, out on the perimeter again. Everybody closing out, expecting Aaron Howard to shoot the 3. One strong dribble. Nice smooth 10-foot jumper on the baseline. Smooth, Whitehorn with the smooth jumper. She's starting to heat up here in the third quarter for Clemson.
Got the Dennis Schroeder haircut there. He was big last night, a Lakers win. Now Valencia Myers continuing to win the rim. She's in double figures with 10. It's just the second time this year she's hit that mark.
Valencia Myers has been outstanding for Florida State here early on. KK Timpson in that foul trouble, and Myers taking advantage of those extra minutes.
They'll say it was deflected from Myers. Again, when your bigs are feasting, you got to find a way to get it inside.
Of course, it's Jazz Massengill with a nice assist. Such good vision from the fifth-year senior Massengill.
That's a season-high 7th assist for Jazz, compared to just 1 turnover. Ho-hum, just another day at the office.
Well, 10 points to go along with it. Jazz Massengill played one of her best games so far in a Seminole uniform.
That she really takes after Candace Parker and how she carries herself in all facets of her game. Jazz wants to be a well-rounded player like one of the WNBA's best. Latson in the open floor draws the foul. She'll go back to the line where she's a perfect 4-4.
Sometimes you might think you'd want to pull that out if you're Ta'Niya Latson. She was going 1-on-2, but she is such a prolific scorer. She's got the green light to take it to the rim anytime she has the ball in her hands. It feels like she can get there. Couldn't quite finish on that play, but she does draw the contact from Nunu Bradford.
How special was it a couple of days ago? Ta'Niya Latson named to the Wooden Award mid-season watch list. I think she's earned it with these numbers.
She certainly has. 50% from the floor, 41% from the three-point line, and 84% from the free throw line. She's now 6 of 6 from the line here today. In Florida State's win over Georgia Tech, she was a perfect 13 of 13, so now 18 straight makes for Ta'Niya Latson from the free throw line.
That was a program record for most free throws in a game without a miss. Robinson buries it from the corner.
Robinson's starting to heat up now for the Clemson Tigers.
Passed the 1,000-point mark last month in a win over Charlotte. Gordon, she's been scorching hot from 3 in ACC play, but comes up empty there. Kiana Gaines, sophomore, picks up her dribble. Bradford with space, puts it in.
Nunu Bradford, 13 points now to lead the Clemson Tigers, including 3 of 5 from beyond the three-point line.
Massengill whips it to Myers. It's that quick movement that has helped Florida State keep this large lead.
Just when it feels like Clemson's starting to make a little run and gain some momentum, Florida State has had an answer each and every time.
15 assists on 19 made shots. A team that only assists on about half of its baskets so far this year.
8 of those coming from Jazz Massengill.
Good defense by Bajetti. Robinson, doesn't matter. She's catching fire in the third quarter. 3 straight makes for Amari Robinson. Trying to help lead the Tigers back on the road. They force a timeout with 3:59 to play in the third. Amari Robinson had to get going in order to give Clemson a chance. Well, they're raining threes themselves so far in this third period.
Now, Amari Robinson has stepped up big time here. All 8 of her points coming here in the third quarter. Nice step back 3 there. Coach Brooke Wyckoff was complaining it was a travel, but the officials ruled that made basket by Robinson good. Clemson has cut this lead down to 12. Looking now to apply some pressure.
Bradford, a team-high 13. Latson with a little hesitation at the bottom of the backboard on her way to the rim. Gordon getting after it on the floor, and a jump ball. Possession stays with Florida State as we head to another timeout on the floor. Immediate timeout here. Clemson trying to continue its third quarter run when we return. Ta'Niya Latson helping lead the charge yet again for Florida State on Hoops for Troops night. Certainly a night that means a lot to Latson. Now let's check in with Meredith Brim, who found out more about her story and background.
That's right, Sean. Growing up, Ta'Niya's father was in the Army, and she spent most of her life moving across the United States from Hawaii to Missouri to Texas and back home to Miami. When we spoke, she said that the military background she has enhanced the way that she plays basketball by echoing things like discipline, loyalty, and respect. Back to you guys.
You can certainly hear it from her every time she talks, and just the joy she has, but just the humility too. I mean, she is a superstar in her own right. The way she carries herself is something special.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I think some of those leadership qualities as well that we see from Ta'Niya Latson come from that military background as well. She's had to adapt and adjust in a lot of different situations.
Let's see if she can have that military toughness as she can't get the rebound inside. Whitehorn draws the foul, and free throws coming for Clemson.
Clemson with those offensive rebounds, getting second and third chance opportunities on the offensive end. Now with 15 offensive rebounds and 12 second chance points. Clemson Tigers clawing their way back into this basketball game.
Clemson with a big opportunity in the updated projections. I know it's the first week of January, but you like paying attention to these things when ACC play starts. Charlie Cream, ESPN bracketologist, as good as anybody, said Clemson right now on the first 4 outs, even after the top 10 win over Virginia Tech last week, partly because Clemson, not a lot of big wins in non-conference play. They tested themselves. They're starting to climb back against a team they have rarely beaten over the last 20 years. It was an 18-point halftime lead, down to 11. Make it 13, and a chance for 14. Latson looking like lightning on a drive to the rim.
The Noles need a big bucket. Put it in the hands of your freshman. Ta'Niya Latson through the contact, and one opportunity coming for the fantastic freshman.
Cool, calm, collected.
Certainly not playing like a freshman at all this season. Ta'Niya Latson, 17 points now to lead all scorers. A perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line.
Plays with so much joy. That was the word Brooke Wyckoff used as the latest to describe her star freshman. Nice pass inside of Robinson. Bradford with an absolute dime inside.
Really nice look for Clemson over the top of the defense for the Seminoles.
Latson, smelling blood in the water, had the defense on its heels. Chalk that up to great teamwork from Florida State. Again, this team moves the ball side to side. It's so tough to stop them because, in assistant coach Bill Ferrara's words, we don't really have a team of shooters, but we have a team of scorers, and we know that they can get to any of the three levels and do damage.
And you have to respect the players that are out there on the three-point line. You know Valenzuela can knock it down. You know Jazz Massengill can knock it down. So you've got to close out hard on Amaria Gordon as well. And so then when you reverse the ball the way around and you got your fantastic freshman Latson on the weak side, you don't have anybody that can get there quick enough. She's got that low crossover and gets into the paint.
It's part of the staffs under Billy Donovan when he was a student at Florida, and also Amanda Butler when she coached at Florida. Said he takes some from Billy Donovan, he takes his system from part of John Calipari, but a lot from Mike D'Antoni's 7 seconds or less offense, and Paul Westhead, formerly of the LA Lakers, Royal Marymount.
A.K. Timpson going high to grab that defensive board.
Gordon to the rack. No. Timpson almost had it in her grasp.
Nifty move from Amaria Gordon as she switched the ball to her left hand, but just couldn't finish.
Robinson, same spot, same result.
Ari Robinson, deadly from beyond the three-point line here in this third quarter. She's drained 3 of them now from out there.
Now on her season average, 13 points. Latson. What can you do to stop her once she gets that deep in the paint?
Speaking of season average, Ta'Niya Latson nearing her season average already with 21.
Has had at least 19 points in all 17 games this year. This 3 won't fall, too strong, and Latson flies in to scoop up the rebound. Taking it herself from one end to the other.
Latson draws the contact from Nunu Bradford. Just couldn't get out of the way quickly enough. She was trying not to commit that foul, but Latson's so good at using her body to draw the contact. She's a little frustrated with herself. You can see that she didn't finish the shot for the and one. She'll go back to the line for 2 more free throws.
Yeah, Amanda Butler said one of the keys to this game, we cannot foul more than 20 times. Wanted to keep it around 15. Said Brooke Wyckoff, I mean, this team, they are so good at getting to the free throw line, something you expect from a team that's made the most free throws of any team in the country this year.
Well, it's that attack mentality. Florida State is looking to get to the rim every time they catch the ball on the perimeter. It's either knock down the long ball or put it on the floor and get to the rim, and they've done that here tonight.
Robinson tried to put her shoulder down and get past Myers, ends up dragging the pivot foot.
Good defense by Valencia Myers there, the veteran. Slides over, steps in front. Amanda Butler not happy about something. She liked that call. Maybe felt like Myers was a little late in getting there.
Final minute of the third quarter. Latson has 13 of Florida State's 21 since halftime. Valenzuela on the drive. Latson, second chance, puts it in.
Latson right there doing it all for Florida State, cleaning up the offensive glass. 25 points now for the freshman, right at her season average, and we've still got a quarter left to play.
Nearing her 5th 30-point game of the season. The rest of the ACC has 2 to their name. Douglas can't knock it down. Shot clock turned off for Sarah Bigetti. Clemson cut it to 11. Desperately need to stop here. Bigetti, Latson before the buzzer. Won't go. Still a dominant third period for Florida State star freshman. It started with Massengill. Anyang brought the Tigers back. But Latson, head and shoulders above the rest. Her 25 has the Noles up.
Free throw line.
What can't she do at this point? Well, we're really running out of words, and it's January 5th.
It's good reason that she was named to the Wooden Watch list, as she has certainly established herself as one of the top players in the country, not just top freshmen.
Valenzuela and Hank on the floor. The Clemson senior comes up with it. And right at the shot clock buzzer, Nunu Bradford can't hit it, but Chetty. How do you keep up with this Florida State team? It is 40 minutes of running every time you go against them.
Oh, and just when you think Ta'Niya Latson's on the sideline, maybe I can take a quick breath. Sarah Bajetti puts her head down, gets to the rim, and finishes through the contact of Perpignan.
Grad transfer looking for a little help there, saying, how was that a foul on me? I thought Bajetti was holding me. Latson and Ferrara talking things over. Hopefully close out a 4th straight win to start ACC play for Florida State. Be the first 4-game win streak at any point in conference play in the last 4 years.
It's a nice play by Perpignan. The answer in the paint for their graduate transfer.
Howard rattles it in. And a big smile from the senior.
Erin Howard had spotted that one up from the minute the shot went in from Clemson. She went right down, established herself on the right wing, and began calling for the ball and knew she was going to launch it as soon as she got it.
4th Nole in double figures. Rapinian. Then knocked down another one. Inyang on the floor. Howard, before she can tie it up, a timeout from Clemson.
Big shot from Howard here again. She launches one from downtown to extend the Seminole lead 73-52.
30-second timeout, Clemson.
And then can the two unsettling surprises kind of turn things around? UNC trailing at Miami right now late.
Yeah, it is a battle every night in the ACC. Teams showing why this is the premier women's basketball conference.
Inyang underneath. Now into double figures for the 2nd straight game off the bench. Really echoes what both coaches were saying before tonight. You need the respect every time you come out. If you have a big win Thursday, you need to be ready Sunday as Latson continues to tear it up in the lane. Because getting to 10 wins is going to be a major accomplishment in a conference that has about half a dozen teams right now trying to get a top 4 seed to host the tournament in 2 months.
It's going to be crazy. The next 2 months are going to be some fantastic basketball. So keep your dial tuned in right here on the ACC network to catch some great women's basketball action.
Bradford misfires. Myers, one of the unsung heroes tonight. 12 points and 4 boards off the bench. Now Bajetti gets a friendly roll on her hometown rim. Just a moment, door was cracked open for Clemson. It was an 11-point game. Ta'Niya Latson said, no. We're going to lock it and throw away the key, and they have their largest lead of the night, up 23.
Ta'Niya Latson with 27 points now. She already has 4 30-point games this season. She has scored 20 points in every one except one of Florida State's games this season. Unbelievable for a freshman.
If she hits 30, we have a funny note to share with our audience. Latson on the floor, can't get the rebound.
Clemson, though, continuing to make those hustle plays as they track down the loose ball. Ruby Whitehorn makes the Seminoles pay.
Not by O'Brien. That's something that happens often. Whitehorn up to 11, the 4th Clemson player to reach double figures. Now Gordon tries her luck. Had it sent back by Inyang. Numbers the other way. Maddie Ott fouled as Howard tried to strip it free.
Ott with the spin move there takes it right at Erin Howard. Thought there might have been a travel there, but Ott going to go throw line.
Just the 6th and 7th free throw attempts for Clemson tonight. They've taken 21 threes. That isn't all too surprising based on the game plan they wanted. Also the part when you fall behind by 11 after the first quarter and 18 at halftime, you sometimes have to shoot your way back into ball games.
And Florida State has been the more aggressive team at getting to the rim. That number may be just a little bit misleading. I'm sure Amanda Butler would like to try to even that out. Zott knocks down a pair there.
Clemson also averages the second fewest free throw attempts per game in the ACC this year. Three purple shirts waiting for Latson. They go to O'Brien, and she nails her first shot of the night. Taylor O'Brien still working her way back to 100% after missing 6 weeks with a lower body injury. Pushing the pace here. Draws the blocking foul. And after the three, she'll shoot 2 at the line.
Now, we haven't called Taylor O'Brien's name much here tonight again, but she was the second leading scorer on this team over the first few games of the season, and then went down with that ankle injury, missed 10 games, and is now just finally back to being 100%. You can see what she's capable of here over the last couple of possessions. Comes up with a big three, and then the big steal, and then the opportunity to get to the free throw line.
She's wearing the coach's cap. Sometimes sitting with Coach Ferrara, sometimes towards the top with Coach Wyckoff. So yeah, it was fun. I got to see myself in a different light because, you know what, it was hard. I've never had that kind of injury that kept me out for 10 games when I spent 4 years at Bucknell, and now it's weird for me trying to get back. I mean, it's not just finding my rhythm as a scorer. This is, how do I know how to play with this team in our defensive assignments and how to just keep the chemistry clicking when I come back.
O'Brien has the ability to score. We talk about Ta'Niya Latson in her 20-point games. O'Brien had 7 20-point games last season when she led Bucknell in scoring with over 16 points a game.
Hot, freed up for a moment, off there.
They just sharing this basketball so well here.
Timpson had a good look. Just short-armed it there. Timpson has been playing like one of the ACC's best all season. She gets a hand on that entry pass.
Yeah, it seems like the night for Timpson, she just kind of got off track a little bit, got into that early foul trouble, and has never really gained her rhythm back. Thought she was a little bit tentative on the defensive end, not wanting to pick up those the additional fouls. That may have affected her offense just a little bit. She's still out there playing hard, grabbing some big rebounds for Florida State.
Bad pass stolen by O'Brien. Taking it herself on the Euro, can't finish with the right hand. The lefty gets it back. On the second try, Gordon, no. Bradford cleans it up. Who knew Bradford in her second season with Clemson going to be leaned on as a player described by Coach Butler as hungry to be great.
And she's shown some flashes of greatness here tonight. She's got 13 points to lead Clemson. Also 7 rebounds and 6 assists for Nunu Bradford, one of her best games as a Clemson Tiger.
Scored double figures now in 6 of the last 7 games. Pinion gets to the rim. She draws another Florida State foul, the last one to give nearing the midway mark of the fourth quarter.
Going to go on Aaron Howard.
Just her second. Sarah Bajetti, the only player for Florida State with 3 fouls. Pinion and Inyang for Clemson have 3 each. Elon guard. Transfer to Clemson this year, kicks it out, grabs the miss. 10 on the timer, she'll put it up, too strong. Turnage the rebound. Florida State in a comfortable position to start conference play 4-0. Timpson can't get that one to fall. And now has it blocked by Inyang and a travel.
Great pass inside to KK Timpson. That's one we've seen her finish so many times this season. Again, just a little off here tonight, unfortunately for KK Timpson. And trying to battle through some contact and a big block from Inyang. Erin Howard there shuffles her feet. She tries to make a move and get to the rim.
Inyang really earning a lot more playing time. And now travel inside on Gaines. Florida State, 7 home games this year, averaging more than 94 points per game, put up 92 in its first conference contest against Miami. A win, KK Timpson said, yeah, we were a little hungry after losing twice last season to the Canes. That's what's hard to believe. Timpson can be off tonight, or Florida State can have stretches where you scratch your head and go, okay, Clemson's coming back, and yet the valleys aren't nearly as dramatic as the peaks with this team. They're just so consistent. They're so deep across the board.
Big rebound there, again, Valencia Myers. Using her size inside.
Howard on a bullet to Myers as it deflected out. Howard and O'Brien exit. Turnage, Latson, Valenzuela, Gordon, and Myers on the floor for Coach Wyckoff. Latson still with the scorer's mindset late in the shot clock. And a foul on the rebound charge to Clemson.
As Valencia Myers again there battling on the offensive glass. She was being held by Elmore. Just the 4th team foul on Clemson, so no free throws yet. Next one will put Florida State in the bonus. Florida State also has committed 4 fouls, so their next foul will put Clemson into the bonus.
Latson off the catch. Inyang doing her best to contest. Not sure what I would do in that position.
And there's not much you can do, because if you don't foul her, you feel like her numbers are so good, she's probably going to make that shot in the paint. But then if you foul her, she's been fantastic from the free throw line. So it's a lose-lose situation. You got to try to get the ball out of her hands, but that's so difficult because she moves so well without the ball, and the Seminoles share the basketball so well that it's just not an easy option to try to keep Latson from scoring.
I still don't understand how she's playing at the same pace she does in the first 3 minutes than she does in the last 3 minutes. She was saying, you know, even at 18 years old, I got to do my treatment to take care of my knees and my ankles. Let me tell you, I can feel it sometimes the day after games. I don't know if I believe her. Ta'Niya Latson is just a one-woman wrecking crew. Florida State gets the stop on one end and a rare walk-up. The offensive side of the floor, Latson, an air ball, or the perfect pass to Myers, depending on who you ask.
We'll call that a pass.
Tied up underneath. Florida State has the ball. O'Brien comes back in to replace Gordon. Latson over to Turnage. Myers falling out of bounds, threw it to Edwards, or Elmore, excuse me. Veronica Hip on the perimeter, checking in for the first time. Clemson starting to empty its bench. Inyang couldn't get a clean catch. Latson was the last to touch it. This will be a tough loss to take for Clemson. They'll be back at home Sunday against Syracuse before 2 more road games next week. Latson couldn't time it perfectly. Still gets a hand on the ball. And a much more difficult inbound from the corner.
Call a quick timeout here, wants to draw something up, and you mentioned it, that's a hard place to inbound it from, and with just 6 seconds on the shot clock, wants to take a chance and try to draw something up for her young team here.
I just mentioned Clemson has Syracuse, and then they'll go to Duke and Pittsburgh next week. Meanwhile, for Florida State, they'll be on the road yet again for the third time in 4 games, Sunday at Boston College, and then another one they've had circled on the calendar, NC State, another big opportunity to get that resume-building win before Louisville comes to the Tuck.
That's a big week next week for Florida State here. Both of those home games, NC State and Louisville, and that Boston College trip, it's always a difficult one for Florida State. It's so far geographically, a long flight, one that Florida State has to remain focused they want to get to the places they're trying to get this season.
Ott starting to drive. Victor dribble up at the stripe and travels. Hasn't been pretty these last few minutes as it's turned into a little bit of YMCA ball. Just 6 points in the last 4 minutes of game time for both teams. All of those points scored by Florida State and a chance to get 30 at the line for Latson. I'm not gonna, I'll wait. 7 of 16 from the floor tonight, but 8 rebounds and 4 assists.
It's gonna be 5 fouls on Eno Inyang as well, so that will be at the end of her night. But she had a nice night, double-double for her. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 4 of 10 from the floor, 2 of 3 from the line. That's got to encourage Amanda Butler with what she's seeing from the sophomore Inyang.
Inyang came into tonight averaging 4 points per game, 3 rebounds per game on the season. And now with her 30th points, tell me this isn't crazy. In 17 games, she ties Natasha Howard's single season record for most 30-point games in a single year.
It's incredibly impressive, and if I'm not mistaken, that was Natasha Howard's senior year. Ta'Niya Latson doing it as a freshman, still with a lot of games remaining this season.
Special player, to say the least. And a perfect 15 of 15 at the line. I was waiting to say that.
That's a new school record as well for Ta'Niya Latson. She's gone 15 of 15 from the line.
Ott misses the 3. O'Brien up the floor. On the kick out to Bajetti. No good. Florida State, after a scorching hot start from 3, really cooled off. Ott knocks it down from the top of the key. Final 90 seconds for Florida State, about to improve to a perfect 8-0 at the Tuck this season. Nice job by Valenzuela. There it is.
Step back from Mariana Valenzuela. 8 points now for the sophomore.
Really starting to earn more time with this team. Came into this game shooting 58% from deep on the year.
Florida State right at their season average for scoring. Coming into the game, they'd averaged 87 points a game. 88 here tonight for the Noles. Is that foul going to go on Valencia Myers, protecting the paint?
Yeah, and that mark, top 5 in the NCAA. And we've had our questions, I'm sure, like other fans and people outside the program are going, okay, you can do it in some of these non-conference games, as Ta'Niya Latson gets a well-deserved ovation. 32 points on Sunday. She'll exit with 31 tonight. And a new school record, 15 of 15 at the free throw line. But to wrap up the point, you think, how can this continue against ACC caliber teams? Look, and I know maybe against the NC States in Louisville, it's not going to continue as well. But it's just something that Coach Wyckoff, Coach Ferrara echo and saying, look, we play the style we want. We get up the floor off misses or turnovers, and we're happy with the looks that we can get. And we think we can hit that 90-point plateau.
That's exactly what they've hit here today at 90 points off the transition bucket from Taylor O'Brien. 6 points for her today.
Another turnover.
It's about a second differential here. Florida State going to hold the ball. Get a nice round of applause here from the fans at the Tucker Center. Like what they see from this Florida State team.
Valenzuela again! The cherry on top of another dominant ACC win. That'll do it. For the 8th time this year, Florida State hangs more than 90 points on an opponent. And one of the most daunting offenses in America claims yet another victim.
5 players in double figures for the Seminoles here tonight. It talked a lot about Ta'Niya Latson, but